My kids love scouting because, to be honest, they like being with their family, and it gives us a chance to be together and to do things together. And I don't think a lot of people understand how much scouting is a family thing, and it's a real joy to watch your son and daughter succeed.
When we first heard about scouting, and he wanted to join so bad, and I didn't want to get his hopes up because I was like, honey, I don't know if they accept kids who maybe aren't able to do everything that everyone else can do, because not everyone does. The response I got was so welcoming, and in all the time he's been in Scouts, and he's just about to cross over into the troop, he has never been treated any differently because of what he cannot do. It is always focused on what he is able to do.
I feel like the most important aspect of scouting is that it is teaching our young men how to be advocates for their community and for their world.
As a mom, my favorite part of the experience was actually participating and being able to go on these adventures with my children.
What sticks out to me is that he's maturing. He's starting to live the values of scouting.
What scouting means to me is pretty much having a good time, essentially. When you first mentioned scouting to me, it's like, oh, we're going to have fun while also getting stuff done and providing service to other people. And it's with that the fun comes really into effect.
Hi, I'm Michelle Collins. We are involved with PAC 191 and we have a Webelow Scout. Scouting for us has made a huge impact on our son. My son looks forward to hanging out with his buddies, growing together, and all the neat things that they get to be involved in. Scouting truly does make the most of the time that we have with our child. They grow so fast, but scouting provides a family opportunity to be involved in something that makes a difference in our son, that he will carry with him through his adult years. We could be involved in a lot of different things, but with scouting, we are truly involved as a family. We're letting him grow independently, but he's under our wings still, and it involves all of us as a family unit. And it really does bring us together and capitalize on the little bit of time that we have left with him before he is grown and out the door and on his own. If you're out there and you're on the fence about making a decision to get involved with Scouts, I would love to encourage you to give it a try. Find somebody who is involved and connect with them so that you can begin to experience all that Scouts has to offer for your family.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains: a Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about Scouting.
You know, I think every company has to have civic stewardship. Something where there's an outlet in order how they contribute to the collective. You know, the Lawrence Police Department, you know, we have an exploring program. And exploring, I think there's some confusion about scouting. But, you know, we think about scouting in the traditional form. You know, we have Tiger Cubs, Cub Scout, Boy Scouts, and we think it ends there, and it doesn't. You know, the crescendo to scouting is exploring, because exploring is just that. That's when kids explore their career interest, and their career interest to the point where it's hands-on application. And at Lawrence, we have an exploring post, which these are kids who, from the ages of 14 to 21, are exploring the possibilities of being police officers. Exploring prepares our kids. 14% of the Lawrence Police Department were once explorers. I was an explorer in 1978. And I look today that law enforcement defined me as an individual. Now, when I went into the corporate world, when I worked for Ecolab, it refined me. But the best college education I had was through exploring, because it was hands-on. Now, in the Lawrence Police Department, how we help prepare our kids for the future is that we empower them through responsibility. We give them responsibility, and you'd be surprised. You know, I listen to people talk about, oh my God, the millennials, oh, the new generation. No, we're in good hands. We are in good hands. They just want to be purposeful. That's it. We as adults, we need to give them an outlet to be purposeful. Lily has a great exploring program. And, you know, those who's watching me today think, you know, your industry, you could have an exploring program. You know, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts are sponsored by churches and schools, but businesses can sponsor an exploring program. And it's a great rewarding experience. And that's your opportunity to mold the future youth. That is my final thought is, as a business professional, don't idly be on the sidelines and just let our kids flounder and figure it out themselves. Get involved. And get involved is nothing more than how can you embrace an exploring program in your business? How can you spend your political equity with your bosses and your senior executive staff to have an exploring scout program? You know, it's good karma, it's the right thing to do, it's civic stewardship, and more importantly, you're making a difference. You're making a difference. And that's what we're on this earth to do, is to make a difference. We can't make it all about quarterly earnings and monthly budgets. It's all we have is people. And so what are you doing to incubate your future through people?
Right now, life has us keeping our distance, but there's never been a more important time to come together. Our culture is one of perseverance and determination. Our foundation is that of always being prepared. When you think about it, we've been preparing for times like these for over 100 years. We've been pioneers, adventurers, helpers, scouts. Nothing can stop us. We've got this.
I grew up in Mexico, and I left my family when I was 19 to come to this country. I was here by myself working, trying to find a way where I can find that kind of family that I left there. I work on construction, and I'm as an immigrant. Normally, we always here working and trying to give our families a better life, like work too hard to give them the best, but we never pay attention to the most important thing, that is share special time with our family, special time with our kids. Now, thanks to scouting, I can give a better life to my family. I can give them the more tools that they're gonna need in the future, especially like when they go to college. You know, this type of stuff is gonna help them to get where they're gonna go. Scouting for me, it's a way of life, a way of having a time with my family, having a time with a couple other families, share some good time, good memories, and you know, it's really worth it.
A program will begin in 5 minutes.
For more than 100 years, the pinnacle of the Boy Scouts of America experience has been summer camp. But camping is not the goal. It is a method of teaching life skills and personal growth.
Okay. Have you ridden before? Yes. Okay, you got it.
Away from regular routine and electronic distractions, Scouts venture off with their friends to be challenged and tested.
First the blue climb.
Learning how to work collaboratively to achieve personal and team goals. "100 years ago, our camps were different. Compasses didn't operate on GPS, and the only escape from the heat was sleeping outside at night. And often that brought little relief. Today's technology has changed the way we think about camp, but not the fundamental experience of living in the woods and sleeping under the stars.
Hi, I'm Lolo. I'm a kindergarten Lion Cub Scout. Welcome to the 25th Annual Governor's Luncheon for Scouting, presented by the Indianapolis Colts. We can't wait to tell you and show you how strong Scouting is in Central Indiana. Stay tuned to the very end. You won't regret it.
I'm Anthony Calhoun from Wish TV, serving as your master of ceremonies for today's event, the 25th Annual Governor's Luncheon for Scouting, presented by the Indianapolis Colts. You know, it's always great to be right here in Lucas Oil Stadium. Wish TV is proud as well to be the media sponsor for today's virtual event. We are streaming this event online through Wish TV, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live, or during our Wish TV broadcasts. Wherever you are, across Central Indiana or anywhere else in the country, we are so glad you're watching today. I'm asking each of you to take a brief moment today while watching the program to post on social media using hashtag CACImpact. That's hashtag CACImpact, and let us know your tie to Scouting. The theme for this year's Governor's Luncheon for Scouting is Training Camp for Life. This theme aligns the missions of both the Boy Scouts of America and our presenting sponsor, the Indianapolis Colts. Leading this year's campaign are familiar faces. Our 4 co-chairs are servant leaders who deeply care about our communities. Dr. Virginia Kane, Jeffrey Harrison, Dina Hayworth, and Jim Morse. For 25 years, leaders like you have gathered in December to celebrate Scouting's impact in Central Indiana and to raise funds for the following calendar year so that Scouting may continue to flourish. Despite the many hardships faced in 2020, Crossroads of America Council has numerous reasons to celebrate. We'll tell you more about those in our program today. Next is a Scout who will help us better understand the Scout oath and law.
Scouting's code of conduct can be found in the BSA Scout Oath and Law. The first word of the Scout Law is trustworthy. You can trust that the Scouts and adults featured in today's program adhere to social distancing guidelines while filming, and some of the pictures and videos that you'll see today occurred prior to the pandemic. Thank you to all of our state's healthcare workers during this pandemic. A special thank you to Indiana University Health, our face mask sponsor this year. All of our major sponsors, table hosts, and donors of today's event will receive one of these in the mail.
The last word of the Scout Law is reverent. Please prepare yourselves for prayer as we gather here today to enjoy this virtual fellowship. May our hearts and minds take in those blessings. May we unite our diversity to strengthen our communities and our hearts. And may all of our actions from this day forward reflect what a Scout is. Amen.
My name is Steve Campbell, Vice President of Communications for your Indianapolis Colts. On behalf of the Irsay family and the entire Colts organization, we are again thrilled to support the wonderful work of the Crossroads of America Council in Central Indiana this year. Each summer, Colts training camp prepares our players for a strong and productive season. In much the same way, Scouting provides young people with the tools to build a strong and productive future. Scouting provides a loving foundation of positive adult mentors and character building in a child's early years. It also teaches the benefit of hard work and the responsibility to take care of oneself and others. These are all lessons that benefit the Scout him or herself, but also benefit the communities in which we all live. On a personal note, growing up here in Indianapolis, I myself was a proud Cub Scout in Pack 171 and a Boy Scout in Troop 18, and I continue to carry the knowledge and experiences I learned then with me to this day. So as a former Scout, I joined the Colts organization in saying thank you for making Central Indiana a better place for our young people to live, thrive, and dream.
My name is Luke and I am 9 years old and a Bear Cub Scout in Pack 245 in Center Grove, Indiana. I started scouting 3 years ago. Today's Governor Luncheon started 25 years ago. I wasn't even born yet.
When I joined Scouting, it was strong, organized, and fun because of hardworking volunteer leaders and staff, dedicated board members, and generous supporters like you. The production sponsor for today's program is Lucas Oil Products. Thank you for helping bring this virtual show together.
I'm a Ray Stone and I'm a Wolf Scout with Pack 30 Indianapolis. My favorite part of the Scouting program is Camp Belzer and archery. Join me in thanking 2 major sponsors. The Marion County Public Health Department is sponsoring our program today.
I'm Bryson Thomas, and I'm a Life Scout with Troop 959 in Indiana. My favorite part of the Scouting program is camping, because waking up to the sound of nature is beautiful. Also, a big thank you to Indiana Members Credit Union, our IMCU Gives Back sponsor. They have designated their major gift to help support vulnerable populations that need financial assistance to cover the BSA joining fee, Scouting uniforms, and summer camp fee. Let's take a brief look back through the years to see what Scouting in Central Indiana has accomplished.
I think Scouting is every bit as important and effective and exciting today as it was when I was a Scout. Now, 67 years ago. Heaven, my goodness.
I'm Teron Richardson. You might remember me from last year's Governor's Luncheon for Scouting. Dr. Kane awarded me the Soaring Symbol of Health Award for building a broadcasting studio for Stop the Violence Indianapolis as my Eagle Scout project. I had dreams of giving back to my community during the end of my busy senior year of high school at Tinley, like organizing the summer job career fair for teenagers to help combat gun violence, but the pandemic prevented it from happening. Now I'm virtually attending Howard University and studying astrophysics. I chose Howard University because I'll be close to NASA's headquarters when it's safe to get back to campus. My dream is to create my own major science and technology business after I get my degree and create job opportunities for people in my hometown of Indianapolis. I started my scouting career when I was 6 years old. That was 12 years ago. Throughout the years, many of you has served as my support system, guiding me, teaching me, and financially supporting me. I hope you believe your investment was worth it. There are many others just like me. Thanks to Governor Holcomb and you, 12 years from now, we will have similar additional stories of hope and success. And now I'd like to introduce another Eagle Scout and community leader who is forward-thinking, investing in today's youth by preparing for the future, Joe Wiltrout, the Scout Executive and CEO of Crossroads of America Council.
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Wiltrout, Scout Executive and CEO for the Crossroads of America Council, BSA, here in Central Indiana. Thank you for joining us today for our Super Bowl of the year. I've had the honor of serving the Hoosier State for the past 3 years. And today, the pleasure to speak with you from our front door to Scouting, Camp Belzer, right here in the northeast corner of Indianapolis. The outdoors and our camping operations are the secret sauce to our training camp to life and teaching life skills that young people will use forever. Here at the Crossroads of America Council, we are committed to improving the quality of life for all of our young people and families throughout the central Indiana area and the 26 counties we serve from Illinois to the Ohio borders. Today's community-wide celebration of Scouting serves several purposes. 1, glancing into the past to review our impact and accomplishments for over the last 25 years. 2, paying tribute to those leaders before me who have built a strong foundation for all of us to build upon and positioned our council to be strong and innovative. 3, paving the way for a bright future for the next 25 years with your financial support, which will drive the vision and mission of Scouting. 4, telling our story to the public about what things are changing and improving for today's busy families and communities who need more of Scouting's values instilled into our youth so they can be the community leaders of tomorrow. Here at Camp Belzer, seated right in the heart of Indianapolis, we are fortunate to have 200 acres, camping campus, the most used of our 4 camping properties. Used year-round, outdoor activities, week-long field trip destination for approximately 7,000 in-school scouts in May through our Reaching for Tomorrow's program. Used for Cub Scout Day Camp for approximately 1,500 elementary-aged youth, and used year-round for corporate conferences, trainings, weddings, family campings, campouts, and more. You will notice behind me a construction site, which is the keystone to the new community direction of camp and the front door to Scouting for all families. The new state-of-the-art maintenance facility will give way to the Skip and Alex Lange Innovation Center, which will be not just a community partner, but an education collaborative partner, a field trip destination for our school systems where Scouting becomes again woven into the fabric of life and life skills with STEM labs, a makerspace, BB and archery ranges, and all kinds of fun and exciting things to take part in. We are changing our facilities to accommodate the changing families and the school educational needs. We continue to grow and adapt to an ever-changing world through technology and the needs of our families to learn and try new and experience new activities together in a safe environment and the great outdoors. Everything from new campsites, tents, tent platforms, new latrines, shower houses, and program areas with an emphasis on the family. We are so excited about our future and strategic direction that we have developed and are launching Crossroads Outfitters and the Dog Pack to highlight all fun and excitement that the community and family can have in trying out and being part of our outdoor educational program and our camping facilities. Our goal is to be the program family choice to do and experience life's adventures in the great outdoors. Again, Scouting's secret sauce to the outdoors. We have used the outdoors as our classroom for more than 110 years. Our curriculum teaches timeless values, lifelong skills, team building, citizenship, and character development. Through your investment, We will continue to impact youth and families along with influencing our communities in so many positive ways. Your time, talent, and treasure makes a huge difference, and we are up to the challenge to be good stewards of your hard-earned donor dollars to make a difference in the life of a child. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the BSA, and happy holidays to all.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to raise $1 million. We have a lot of people to thank today. You know, we are just so grateful for Governor Holcomb's and your support, and he will shortly provide our keynote address. Cannot wait for that. We are grateful for a group of dedicated individuals called the Steering Committee who provided strategic direction and secured major sponsorships. Virtual table hosts. You are the foundational success to our campaign kickoff today. Thanks for enlisting the support of others, whether they're lifelong scouters or new friends to our movement. Whether you are a corporate table sponsor or an individual table host, we salute you. Yeah, we salute you today.
We have 6 more major sponsors to thank: Citizens Energy Group, Indiana Economic Development Corporation, Garmong Construction, American Structure Point, Gaylor Electric, and Hiruns. A huge high five goes to Mark Bradford with Old National Bank and Mike McBride from American Structure Point for agreeing to assist with the council campaign leadership for a second year. And finally, thanks to our 4 co-chairs who have been working on this event for months. Your influence and dedication to help Crossroads of America Council be financially ready for another uncertain year in 2021 epitomizes these attributes in the Scout Law: loyal, helpful, kind, and brave. And now, the Co-Council President, Crossroads of America Council, John Thompson, to ask for your support.
The BSA have a long history of providing the building blocks of success and lifelong experiences that enhance the character and integrity of Scouts. The leadership, team building, and life skills that are gained are everlasting. More than 70% of adults who served as Scouts credit their experience as having helped them become better leaders, team players, and more empathetic to the needs of others. And I certainly count myself amongst that group. That is what Scouting does. It teaches you to live out the values of giving and service. In turn, these values become part of the very fabric of who you are. We need Scouts. Our nation needs Scouts. Our world needs Scouts. With today's challenges, challenging political and societal climate, the need to instill and live out the words of the Scout Oath and Law could not be more necessary. A war is being waged against our youth, and we must step up and step into ensure that we are providing the very best opportunities for sustainable success. One of the most significant ways we can offer this is through mentorship. Scouting is the training camp for life. Scouting is also the best organization around for mentorship. BSA provides an avenue to serve the entire family, allowing parents and children of all ages to learn, grow, and give together. We encourage you to think deeply about what it is involved and what's at stake in terms of supporting our young folks. Whether you invest your time or money through sponsoring a Scout or serving as a troop leader, know that you are needed and the time is now. If not now, when? If not you, who? So please step up and support Scouting. Give your time, talent, and treasure to our young people. Don't step back and say things like, why aren't young people doing this? Why aren't they doing that? You step forward and make sure that they're doing it. Put your dollars to work today. If you want to know how you can help, we have a well-run organization with tremendous volunteers, tremendous staff, and other volunteers and leadership, the board that's in place to make a real difference. We have tremendous facilities, camps, and programs that can really help develop our scouts. And what we need is dollars to make it all work. If you want to know how to make a difference in a young person's life, I can tell you, you give dollars to scouting and we'll make a difference in their life, just like scouting made a difference in my life. I wouldn't be here today, wouldn't be able to do all the things that I can do. I learned team building and leadership in scouting. Your 2021 gift will help ensure that the thousands of young people in Central Indiana learn how to make ethical decisions over their lifetime by instilling in them the Scout Oath and law. You can't go wrong with this type of investment. And I can tell you, if you won't put the time in, there are people in the neighborhoods who will put the time in. They'll work with the kids 24/7. They'll tell a kid, let me teach you. Here's how you steal that car. Here's how you rob someone. Your parents put you out, you can come stay with me. Oh, you're hungry? I'll feed you. The gangs have plenty of time for the young people. It's us who don't want to give the time and the money to teach and mentor our young folks. Crossroads of America Council prioritizes the importance of serving every youth possible. We have implemented initiatives and established committees to serve communities that do not have a multi-generational heritage of scouting, specifically African American, Latino, and Burmese youth. Whether you have participated in BSA, Boy Scouts of America, or not, chances are most have been connected to scouting in some form or another. We have likely all bore witness to the fruits of scouting. These fruits exhibited by my friends and colleagues, influenced by my decision to join the board of directors for BSA. I figured the BSA was the best way to give back and to leverage my time, my talent, and my treasure. So I chose to do all of that through BSA because I could be more effective that way. And I found that to be accurate. Just like when I was a kid, I was a Cub Scout, followed by Boy Scout. I had a gap in there at 15 and 16, and then 17, I was an explorer. While we know the value of mentorship, we often fail to prioritize our ability to give of our time, talent, and treasure towards this effort. But we cannot continue in this way. The Governor's Luncheon for Scouting kicks off the 2021 fundraising campaign for Crossroads of America Council. Each year, the luncheon generates more than $1 million to support more than 30,000 youth and 7,000 adult volunteers through their training camp for life. I have the honor of explaining how you can join me in making a donation today. Your pledge can be paid today or anytime over the course of 2021. For those of you that have not made a pledge to scouting for next year, I ask you to consider a minimum pledge of $400. However, any gift amount is valued and helps our young people. Many of you can do much more than $400, and we ask you to do that. If you're watching today because your company sponsored a virtual table, do not feel obligated to contribute. We hope, though, that you personally feel moved enough to contribute something. I know you are all multitaskers with multiple electronic devices around you, so I'm going to give you 2 different ways to make your pledge today: online or text to give. Keep watching the show on your current device, and use another one to donate. You can either text to give by sending give to CAC, Crossroads of America Council, which is give, the number 2, CAC, to 317-813-7125. I'll repeat that, 317-813-7125. Follow the link in your text or visit give2cac.org to donate online. Be sure to make your pledge by the end of this program. Staff members are standing by to tally our community's investment of scouting so we can send out a results email this afternoon. Donate now. An investment now creates leaders for tomorrow and the next 25 years and beyond. Our goal is $1 million raised by the end of today for our 2021 year. We had a significant portion secured before our event through major sponsors, table sponsors, and pace-setter donors. We just need a little more to achieve our goal. Don't wait. Pledge now and pay later in 2021 if you need to. All gift amounts make a difference. Once more, text give to CAC to 317-813-7125 or donate online at give2cac.org. On behalf of our board, thank you for your cheerful giving during the most wonderful time of the year.
Thank you, John. Okay, now it is my pleasure to present Life Scout Katie Jansen to introduce our keynote speaker.
My name is Katie Jansen. I'm currently a Life Scout working on my Eagle Scout project with Troop 331 in Brownsburg, Indiana. Scouting has always been a part of my life. Both my brother and father are Eagle Scouts, so I grew up with scouting. I've always envied the opportunities my brother had in scouting. In 2016, when I turned 14, I joined Venturing, the high adventure program for co-ed high schoolers. That following year, I went canoeing in Canada at Northern Tier, one of 4 national BSA high adventure bases. 2019 was a huge year for me because the BSA welcomed girls in the Scouts BSA program. I was over the moon when I learned that I could officially join. We chartered a brand new all-female troop right away and hit the ground running, learning skills, running our own meetings, and planning outings. Summer of 2019, I had the opportunity to attend a long-term summer camp at Randsburg Scout Reservation in Bloomington, Indiana, for the very first time. I loved it. Yes, I enjoyed 7 days and 6 nights outside, in a tent, eating camp food. I also had the incredible opportunity to go backpacking through another national BSA high adventure base, Philmont Scout Reservation in New Mexico. And I even got to enjoy it with my brother. That high adventure truly defined my scouting career and gave me such an appreciation for the little things out in nature. It's the high adventure base that, in my opinion, truly embodies what scouting is all about. Scouting has changed my life for the better, and I cannot thank my parents enough for allowing me to pursue it. My journey has been a little different than most since I didn't join until I was a teenager. I've had a very tight deadline to achieve most of my ranks and merit badges. Normally, Scouts must complete all of the requirements for Eagle Scout before their 18th birthday. But since I was already 16 when our troop formed, I was granted an extension, which will allow me to complete my requirements for Eagle Scout after my 18th birthday. On November 23rd, I received approval to start working on my Eagle Scout project, which is to record and catalog audio versions of children's books for Eskenazi Hospital's neonatal intensive care unit. I chose this project, which is expected to require over 100 volunteer hours to complete, because I plan to pursue a career in the medical field and am passionate about working with children. Thank you all for supporting this amazing program. Without your generosity, Scouts like me wouldn't have as many of these opportunities available to us. I have the pleasure of introducing a huge supporter of our program, who I had the pleasure of meeting 2 years ago, along with his cute dog, Henry, at the Governor's Campout. With the exception of this year, due to COVID-19 safety restrictions, he and the First Lady have hosted this fun skills-based event at the Governor's residence for the past 5 years. And now, I'm honored to introduce our keynote speaker for the 4th year in a row, the 51st Governor of the state of Indiana, Eric Holcomb.
Thanks so much, Katie, and thanks for sharing your story.
It's certainly an honor to be introduced by someone so accomplished. You might even say I'm over the moon to be introduced by someone so accomplished. And it's also an honor to share a few thoughts with so many of our community leaders. Your steadfast support of BSA, making this the most successful such fundraiser in the country, once again says all you need to know. I also want to thank the Indianapolis Colts for sponsoring this event and for inspiring today's theme, a training camp for life. After all, that's what scouting is all about, isn't it? Helping our youth not just experience the outdoors and learn skills and develop friendships, but even more importantly, building character that will serve them throughout their entire lives. Now, last year, I talked about one aspect of our collective character in need of repair when I talked about trust. I described the steep decline in trust in institutions vital to our country's success: business, government, the media, academia, even faith-based institutions, and more, and how our continued progress depended on rebuilding that trust. Today I want to talk about something that goes hand in hand with trust. I want to talk about something that's equally at risk and equally urgent, something equally incumbent on each of us to recover, and that's the truth. We are experiencing an assault on the truth, what one writer calls truth decay, and another calls the death of truth. There are many different reasons for this, of course. Some attribute it to our deep polarization with access to constant and countless and separate information silos, many of which have a business model that seeks to excite or elevate every argument into partisan warfare. They even monetize it. Some single out the rise of talk radio or social media, which are better at inflaming passions than fostering a reasoned, well-thought-through debate. Wired to entertain, not educate or inform, with blatant disregard for objectivity or fact. The old saying, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes, has never been more relevant, or dare I say, even dangerous. But for whatever the reasons, a consensus around facts and truth is essential not only for BSA, but for our country. If you think about it, there are two sides of being truthful. One is being true to yourself. The other is being true to others. The two are slightly different, but very closely linked. One of the most famous lines in Shakespeare's Hamlet is when the king's counselor, Polonius, advises his son. He says, "To thine own self be true, and it must follow that thou canst not then be false to any man." And so it follows. Being true to oneself is the starting point for any scout. Hoosier legend, Coach John Wooden, admonished us to, and I quote the coach, "Be more concerned with your character than with your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are." The handbook for Scoutmasters is called the Scoutmaster Minute, and it gets right at it. The first chapter is on character, and it begins with these words: a scout is trustworthy. A scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is part of his code of conduct. People can depend on him. Another way To say it as people can depend on him is that people can trust him. Telling the truth and being true to oneself are essential steps in building trust for sure, which is in turn essential to leadership. By the way, truthful people understand themselves, sometimes brutally honestly, and they know their strengths and their weaknesses. They describe themselves and others accurately and fairly. When they commit to something, they do it. And when they make a mistake, they learn from it. They own it. And there may be short-term pain in owning it, but I can testify by my own experience, it brings about long-term gain. These are keys to growth and ultimate success. So I encourage our scouts to do what you do and never stop learning. Be curious. Be open to new people and ideas. When it comes to information, rely not only on one single source, but on many. If something smells funny, look it up. Most of all, develop your own critical thinking skills like you do with every project, large or small. Think for yourself and come to your own conclusions without being told what they are in advance. And if embracing the truth is important for individuals, here's the big stuff. It is foundational for our democracy. The Declaration of Independence begins with these words: "We hold these truths to be self-evident." In court, we swear witness to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The most famous myth about our first president is that he couldn't tell a lie. Ben Franklin cut right to the chase when he said, "Honesty is the best policy." Crafty old Ben probably meant two things: that being honest is the best way to live your life, but also leads to the most effective policy for government. In fact, our founders were enlightened thinkers who challenged the prevailing wisdom that monarchs had a monopoly on truth and could lie when necessary to protect the state. Instead, our founders put a premium on openness, transparency, freedom of expression, and unfettered debate, passionate as it was and is. This is America's real strength and power. We've seen more prosaic examples right here back home in Indiana. I know of several restaurants and shops that have been hurt or even had to close because customers became irate when they were asked to wear masks. Sometimes they threatened employees, and at least one case posted false allegations on social media. All because they've come to believe that wearing a mask is an infringement on their personal freedom, rather than based on the best science, or even the odds at this point, to keep our neighbors, all of our citizens, healthy. Whether scouts or as citizens, we have to continue to reach for Ben Franklin's charge that honesty is the best policy, and get back to an acceptance of facts, of science, of some common definition of truth. Whether we're talking about masks or seat belts or speed limits or secondhand smoke, without commonly agreed upon facts, there's little chance for rational debate over policy, and no way to hold elected officials accountable like myself to the people. I'd like to close out the year 2020 boy, I'd like to close out the year 2020 with part of the West Point Cadet Prayer, which calls on future military personnel and leaders who study there to, and I quote, strengthen and increase our admiration for honest dealing and clean thinking. Make us choose the harder right instead of the easier wrong. Endow us with courage that knows no fear when truth and right are in jeopardy. That's second nature to you all. It's got to sound familiar. Amazing how your Scout Law and their cadet prayer align themselves so perfectly when sharing such a similar oath and purpose. Scouts and Hoosier leaders, we are a better state. There is no doubt about it because of each and every one of you. You are our foundation. And that, my friends, is the truth. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Governor Holcomb, for those words of support and inspiration. We greatly appreciate it. You know, folks, as we wrap up our event, our co-chairs would like to express their gratitude.
Well, there are a good number of very wonderful, highly effective youth-serving organizations in a community. Scouts is one of the best, but we want to be sure that the resources are available for young people who are financially on the borderline, that they have the same chance to be a scout as anybody who would live in a more affluent neighborhood.
We could not have pulled off this successful event without our table hosts and corporate table sponsors. More than 150 of you kept your commitment to support the Boy Scouts of America, even through this virtual platform. Thank you.
To say thank you once more to our major sponsors, here is a special message from the Scouts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our sponsors.
All of our sponsors.
To all our sponsors.
To all our sponsors.
Thank
you to all of our sponsors.
Thank you for your social media posts. If you haven't taken a picture of yourself watching the show or a screenshot of the virtual watch party you're hosting, please do it now at #CACImpact.
Together, we have learned that Scouting is a training camp for life. Our youth, families, community, businesses in Central Indiana are all better off with thriving Scouting programs. All right, so I'm signing off with a big thank you for attending today's 25th anniversary of the Governor's Luncheon for Scouting.
This concludes our celebration of Scouting. Thank you for investing me in the Crossroads of America Council. We wish you a safe holiday season.